Good morning to everyone at today's public hearing of the Vetting Commission established under Law Number 65 on the external evaluation of judges and candidates for judges of the Supreme Court of Justice. I'm Scott Bales, the chair of the commission, and I declare this session open. This hearing is being conducted under the Commission's rules of organization and functioning as part of the evaluation process. The subject of today's hearing is Mr. Ion Buruiană, a candidate for the position of member of the Disciplinary Board of the Superior Council of Magistracy. The evaluation in relation to Mr. Buruiană was carried out pursuant to Law Number 26 on measures related to the selection of candidates for the position of members in the self-administration bodies of judges and prosecutors. Mr. Buruiană is a lawyer currently practicing at the lawyer's office, Ion Buruiană. He previously practiced law at Gorea and Associates. He is a professor at the University of European Studies of the Republic of Moldova and formerly was a professor at the Commercial Cooperative University of Moldova. Mr. Buruiană, good morning, and I apologize if I struggle a bit with your name. I'm joined by the 5 other members of our commission. To my left, our commission member and vice chair, Andre Bevel, and commission members Lavle Perling and Yuri Gatskin. To my right, our commission members Juliana Civanini and Lillian Ansu. The Commission is also assisted by members of its secretariat, and you may see some representatives of the public or media join our hearing later. The hearing will be conducted with interpretation between Romanian and English. To allow for accurate interpretation, I ask everyone to speak clearly and slowly. Furthermore, the proceedings are being recorded. The recordings of the Commission's public hearings generally will be available online at the Commission's website, www.vettingmd.eu, within 3 days of the hearing. During the hearing, one or more members of the Commission will ask you questions. I ask that you answer them truthfully and completely. It's important to the Commission in verifying your financial and fiscal and ethical integrity. At the end of the hearing, you'll be given an opportunity to make a brief closing statement. In posing questions, we will take into account your privacy and that of family members and other close persons. We will omit unnecessary details on such things as identification numbers, bank account numbers, specific real estate addresses. We would ask that you do the same to also protect privacy. I will start by briefly reviewing the evaluation process for Mr. Buruiană. The Commission initiated its evaluation on the 6th of December 2023 by notifying him via email and asking him to complete and return an ethics questionnaire and the financial declarations required by Law Number 26. Mr. Buruiană returned the completed declarations and questionnaire on the 12th of December 2023. As part of evaluating a subject's ethical and financial integrity, the Commission also obtains information from many other sources, such as the National Integrity Authority, the State Fiscal Service, the General Inspectorate of the Border Police, other public institutions, financial institutions, and open sources. The Commission assesses the information it obtains for its relevance and reliability. The Commission also took full account of the information provided by Mr. Buruiană for the years 2011 through 2022 in the questions that it submitted to him under Law 65 for that evaluation, and as well considered the information he provided at the hearing for those purposes on the 16th of January 2024. On the 5th of February 2024, the Commission asked Mr. Buruiană to provide additional information by February 11th. He provided answers by the deadline. On the 1st of March 2024, we notified Mr. Buruiană that the Commission in its investigation had identified some areas of doubt about his compliance with the ethical and financial criteria. We also invited him to attend today's hearing. Mr. Buruiană, do you wish to make any additional corrections or additions to the information that you've provided to this point to the Commission?
Sorry, we cannot hear him.
Onorată Comisie,
Honorable Commission, once I gave the answers to the questions of the Commission, I will
înțeles că am completat.
add something. Obviously, I have additional things to say to what I presented to the Commission.
Thank you. And you returned an ethics questionnaire to the Commission on the 12th of December 2023. Are your answers to that ethics questionnaire still accurate as of today?
Da.
Yes.
Okay. Members of the Commission will now ask some additional questions. We'll try to keep our questions short and to the point. We ask that you try to keep your answers short and to the point as well. And I will start the questions for today's hearing. Mr. Buruiană, we generally have some questions related to our calculations of inexplicable wealth over the relevant time periods. And let me begin by noting that in the answers you've provided to the Commission to this point, you've identified some construction costs related to the house that you have in Ciuciuleni Village. And more specifically, the information you've provided to the Commission suggests that over the years from 2007 through 2010, something more than 300,000 lei were spent on construction costs, with most of those amounts being spent in 2007, where it looked like about 250,000 lei were spent. So do you recall that information being provided to us?
Da, onorată.
Yes, Honorable Commission.
So I want to ask you then, with that background, there's some additional information that you've provided since the hearing in January. Specifically, you've, in an annex, provided a decision by the Supreme Court of Justice in 2017 related to some loans that your wife had made. Do you recall that document?
Da, onorată Comisie.
Yes, Honorable Commission.
Am prezentat.
I have presented in the Annex 17.
Da, în anexa 7.
Yes, it was the Annex 17. I presented those information.
Decizia respectivă
That respective decision
care vorbim.
that you are mentioning.
Okay, and the decision talks about two loans that your wife made in the year 2006, a 5,000 euro loan in March
Da.
and a 4,000 euro loan that same month. And the decision reflects an award to your wife, or a claim by your wife of amounts owed of about 15,995 euros. And this is the decision in 2017, correct?
Corect, onorată.
Yes, it's correct, Honorable Commission.
Okay, so my first question is, after 2017, did your wife ever receive payment for those loan amounts? After she obtained the award from the Supreme Court of Justice, was she ever able to recover that money?
Onorată Comisie.
Honorable Commission, I've discussed with her and she
Ne-am amintit că
told me where I recalled that respective decision was enforced partially around 1,000 euro out of those more than 15,000 euro, and plus the interest for the enforcement, the execution, it was a highest amount, but almost only 1,000 euro was put in force. This is what my wife recalls.
And do you have any additional information about when the 1,000 euro was recovered?
După câte ne amintesc,
As far as I recall,
în 2007,
it's around 2017, something like that.
So it of course had to be after the court's judgment in 2017, but it was that same year?
Da, bineînțeles.
Yes, of course.
All right. You also provided some additional information to the Commission about decisions in your favor. There were two different decisions by the Chisinau Court of First Instance, one in July of 2013 and then a second in December of 2013. And those decisions concerned 3 loans that you made in 2010. Do you recall that information that you provided to the Commission?
Honorable Commission, there were no 3 loans. It was a loan of 8,000 euro in 2010, just one, not 3.
Okay, maybe it was given to the borrower in 3 different installments, but I understand your point. The total is 8,000 euro, correct?
Honorable Commission, I have presented the court decision, if you mean that court decision according to which I gave to Mr. Cârlan 8,000 euro. So I gave them only 8,000 euro in 2010. If afterwards the interest or late payment penalties were calculated, this is different.
Okay, because, and I appreciate that clarification, because the December 2013 ruling by the Chisinau Court awarded you 10,626 euro, and that included the interest, correct?
Yes, you're right.
So have you ever recovered on that award? Have you ever recovered any of the 10,626 euro?
Honorable Commission, no, never. I did not recover that amount of more than 10,000 euro, which is indicated in that court decision.
All right. Let's turn then to a different topic. In the materials, in the information you've provided to the Commission, you stated that at the beginning of the year 2011, you had cash savings of $14,000, 14,000 euros at the beginning of 2011. And you've told the Commission that the source of those funds was income you received from teaching in Bordeaux over the years 2001 to 2003. My question is, how could you have 14,000 euros at the beginning of 2011, given that you would have had living expenses while you were in France? You spent more than 300,000 lei between 2007 and 2010 on construction for your house in Cuchulainn. And then finally, you and your wife made loans to other people of some 17,000 euros, because your wife made loans of 9,000 euros in 2006, and you made loans, by your statements today, you made loans of 8,000 euros in 2010. So how at the beginning of 2011 could you have 14,000 euros in cash?
Honorable Commission, in the second round of negotiations of questions, I partially responded to your questions, and I explained that I had the savings of 14,000 euro at the beginning of 2011, which was basically resulted or was obtained following my teaching activity from Montesquieu University from Bordeaux, France. Meaning, I told this was the main source for the money following my teaching activity, which presumes that I had these savings also resulted from other sources, from other activities. And moreover, I want to tell you that myself and my wife, we have been working since 1990.
Am activat în calitate
We
de
worked as
lector universitar, de avocat,
professors, as
de arbitru.
attorneys or lawyers and arbiters.
Referire
We-
la una din
Or I referred to one of the arbitrary
și
rulings or
anume
decisions,
la
and
la
that is
în cauza care a fost
for
pronunțată în
the
cauza
case
Link Training
Link
Republica
Training
Moldova,
versus Link
în
Training
cadrul
versus
căreia
Moldova,
am activat în calitate de
for
arbitru
which
și
I
am primit
worked as an
onorariu
arbiter, and I
de
received the
32.000
remuneration of
dolari. În
$32,000.
afară de aceasta,
And
într-adevăr, am avut
except that,
activitate
I
pedagogică în
worked
cadrul
as a teacher
Universității
at the
Montesquieu din Bordeaux,
Montesquieu
Franța,
University from
și am
Bordeaux, France,
obținut
and
salariul
I
global
had the
17.000,
total
aproximativ 17.000
salary of
euro.
around 17,000
Mai
euro.
mult,
And moreover,
actele respective sunt prezentate. A fost
I
expediate
have presented
onorate
those
comisii.
documents. The commission
mult.
has those documents.
Soția
And even more,
asemenea,
my
a
wife
activat în
also
diferite domenii.
worked in different
am
areas.
expediat comisiei
I sent to the
onorate
Honorable Commission
contractele
the
care-
contracts
soției care au fost
according
încheiate
to
cu
which my wife
ambasada
worked, the contract that my
Republicii
wife had
Ungare
with the Embassy of
la
Hungary
Chișinău,
in Chișinău, sorry,
la Chișinău, și unde sunt
and
indicate
in those there is
salariile
indicated that
lunare
the monthly
pentru
salary, monthly
2004,
wages for
salariul mare
2004 was
250 de euro,
250 euro, and for 2005 the monthly
310
salary was
euro.
310 euro.
Onorat comisie.
Honorable
În afară
Commission,
de
alongside
sumele la
with
care
the
am
amounts I referred to
economii au fost
now,
făcute și
we
din
also
alte
had
venituri
savings from other incomes
care, v-am spus, din activitate care
that
am
I
prestat-o
said
eu și
from the
soția.
activity we had together with my wife.
All right, so you've identified then, I understand the different sources in addition to the 14,000 euro from, the sources, I'm sorry, the sources in addition to your teaching at Bordeaux that might have been part of the 14,000 euro, correct?
Onorat comisie, am avut diferite
Honorable Commission, I had a lot of activities
fost sursa de
which served as a source
În
for
afară de
my
ceea ce am
income,
enumerat
alongside
sursele
with
respective
the
care
sources
le-am
I
enumerat.
aforementioned.
Am zis, sunt mai multe surse.
I said I had
Am
several
activat
sources
în
of
diferite
income because I
domenii,
worked in different
în
fields,
funcții diferite
had different positions,
și așa mai departe.
and so on and so forth.
All right. I think we can then turn to a different topic. Mr. Buruiană, you'll recall that on January 1st of 2012, you filed a declaration for fiscal amnesty. And we've talked about this previously. It's a declaration that states that you had funds available as of the 1st of January totaling 970,000 lei. In your prior hearing, when we asked you about this, you said that you identified that amount because you were anticipating receiving recovery from some court cases. And my question is this. We now know, given the additional information that you've provided, that your wife had loaned some 8,000 or had loaned 9,000 euros and ultimately was awarded almost 16,000 euros for those loans that she had made in 2006. We know that you in 2010 made 8,000 euro in loans. You later recovered in the Chișinău court some 10,000 euros with regard to that debt. But even if you put all that together, it still would come up to, significantly less than 970,000 lei. So what explains the difference between the amount that you said in the declaration that you had available, even taking into account what you might have anticipated getting in the lawsuits to recover the debt. It still seems there's a gap of several $100,000 lei between what you were able to recover in the lawsuits for the debt owed to you and the other debts owed to your wife, and the total amount of $970,000 lei.
Onorat Comisie,
Honorable Commission, as of submitting the declaration on fiscal amnesty, I had only, or had available only part of that amount that I declared. A significant part of that declared amount was to be obtained following the enforcement of the court rulings you referred to, and from receiving some fees or some payments for my services. So as of submitting the declaration on fiscal amnesty declaration, I had available 14,000 euro savings as of the beginning of 2011, and beside that I had the amount of almost 73,000 lei, which represented my arbitration fee or my arbitration remuneration, and 1,000 euro, which was the reimbursement of the debt or loan mostly by Corlat Maria, the cousin of my wife. Sorry. Except that, I have represented in first court the enforcement procedure for the enforcement procedure two creditors of commercial society Melconic, and I had to receive the success salary of about 90,000 lei, but that company went into bankruptcy, and therefore that amount failed to be provided to me. The data on the insolvency case for the mixed undertaking FAME CV Construction versus Melconic LLC were sent in or attached in Annex 17. And moreover, in relation to what I said, the amounts that I did not have at that moment, the amounts that I mentioned previously, we can also add the interest rates which are related to the failure to enforce in due time the court decisions.
So let me make sure we understand what you're referring to in terms of court decision. You referred to a claim for some 90,000 lei, and then you also talked about that the expected success fee wasn't received. Right? Is this all about the same case? Are you talking just about one case?
No,
it's a different one. It's not the same case. It's not the decisions that were issued related to that loan provided by me, amounting 8,000 euro, and my wife 9,000 euro.
No, and I understand that. I thought you said that you, in addition to those debts, you had litigation that you were involved in, I assume as a lawyer, where you were expecting a success fee. Did I misunderstand you?
Correct.
Yes, it's correct.
And was it one lawsuit or two?
A fost proces în instanța de fond.
This was a lawsuit in the first instance, and then I represented the case in the enforcement procedure, and next I represented the client in the insolvency procedure, but as I said that Melconi company bankrupted and I did not receive any fee from them.
Am lucrat la onorare de succes.
I worked based on a success fee.
And what was the court where that was brought in the first instance? Was it here in Chișinău?
Da, Chișinău.
Yes, in Chișinău.
Onorat Comisia.
Honorable Commission, I presented those information in Annex 17, those related to the insolvency case.
All right. Before we go further, Mr. Beeville, did you have a related question you wanted to ask?
Domnul Buruiană, dacă se poate.
Yes, Mr. Buruiană, if I may, I have two clarification questions. One is that you said that none of the loans you pursued in court never were recovered. You said that from one loan you recovered only 1,000 euro. Yes, it was more or less 1,000 euro. Could you clarify what was the reason for not being able to recover those debts? Yes, Honorable Commission, in this regard, I have presented the decision of the Supreme Court of Justice from 2017, and the subject of the decision was to reject the claim, the application of the debtor, Madam Emilia, who refused to pay the debt, meaning it was a delay for the enforcement of decision in first instance, which was issued in 2009, and in 2017 we were being in lawsuits in court because the procedure was not enforced. They appealed the decision. Yes. And the second question, you said that you filed that declaration of fiscal amnesty saying that you had those 970,000 lei because you were expected to have some cash money to be received. So you said that those money to be received were based on the court decision to recover the debts and the success fees and the fees for your activity as a lawyer. So these are three categories of payments to be received that I heard from you today. So my question now is, yes, we understand that the money and those fees were to be taxed previously to be received from you. So from that success fee, you were to pay some taxes. Yes? Yes, if I received that fee, obviously I would have to pay the fee, the tax, sorry. So the logic of that tax return, tax declaration is to provide such declarations for those money that are not to be taxable. So what was the reason to provide the declaration of fiscal amnesty? Because they were not to be subjected to taxes. Because those payments to be recovered were not subjected to taxes, but the fees were to be taxed. So what is the reason to declare on payments that are reasonably argumented? I want to say that I did not receive those fees. I had to receive them, but I did not receive them. This is why I did not present the declaration, fiscal declaration. No, I speak about the 2012 declaration when you said that you had those 970,000 lei in cash. So you said that you submitted the declaration because you anticipated to receive money in cash and you'll have cash at home. So you were supposed to keep cash at home. This was the reason that you submitted that declaration. But we understand that those incomes were legal, which were taxable, were justified. This is why had you to submit that fiscal amnesty declaration for incomes that were to be taxed finally, were official ones. Honorable Commission, in any case,
declarației
in the virtue
cu privire
of the declaration of the fiscal amnesty,
eu nu am beneficiat, adică nu
I
am exercitat dreptul care
did
derivă din
not
această
put in force
declarație
the right. I did not have
fiscală
the right to
și
related to
nu
that
am
fiscal amnesty.
achiziționat, nu am făcut achiziționări semnificative.
And I
nici
did
în
not
anul
have
2013,
significant
nici în anii următori.
procurements
Adică eu
in
nu
that
am
year
beneficiat
and
de
the next year
declarația
to come.
respectivă, nici
I
într-un
did
mod.
not benefit from that declaration in any way.
Buruiană, let me back up. We were talking about the 14,000 euro in cash that you say you had at the beginning of 2011. And when you were talking about that, you referred to some fees from arbitrations. And I heard you say something about a 32,000 US dollar fee. And I just want to be sure that we understand each other. Was there another arbitration that you identified, was that other than the U.S. Fee arbitration?
Onorat Comisie,
Honorable Commission,
expediat
I have sent
link-ul,
the link.
este publicat
So,
hotărârea judecătorească.
The court ruling is published. I have sent the link to it to the Commission Secretariat,
Și este o altă cauză
and this is a
care se numește
different case that is
link
called
trading
link trading
Republica
versus
Moldova
the Republic of
și
Moldova,
a fost pronunțată în
and
anul
this was ruled
2002
in 2002,
și am activat în calitate de
and
arbitru.
I was working as an arbitrator, these were fees as an
Și
arbitrator.
am primit ca onorarii de
And
arbitru
for this, I received $32,000 US dollars.
Însă am mai avut alt onorariu
But I had
de arbitru
another fee as an arbitrator
cauze
in another case
arbitrale.
for
Am
arbitration.
expediat cauza
I have
respectivă.
sent the details of that
2010.
case. That was from
În
2010.
urma examinării acestei
And
cauze,
after the examination
am
of this
obținut
case,
sau am ridicat onorariul.
I
și a
received a fee.
Onorariul era prevăzut
So,
90.000.
It was supposed to be 90,000 lei gross, but
Onorariul brut era 90
so
de lei, dar
the gross one
onorariul
was
net
90,000,
am
but
ridicat, aproximativ
the net one
suma de
was
73.000.
approximately 73,000 lei.
Astea sunt cauze diferite.
These are two different cases.
And are you telling us that the 32,000 US dollar fee that I understand you're saying now you received in 2002, was that received in cash?
Am ridicat de la bancă.
I took them from the bank. Yes, it was in cash. So I went to the bank
De la bancă am ridicat.
and I withdrew the money.
And when you withdrew that amount in cash in 2002, what did you then do with it? How did you keep those funds once you withdrew them?
Onorat comisie.
Honorable Commission,
Eu am primit onorarul
I
respectiv.
received
activam
that
la etapa
fee
respectivă la Universitatea
when
Montesquieu
I was working in the Montesquieu
primit
University.
onorariul de 30
So I received these $32,000 US dollars from a French bank.
În mod eșalonat
Later, I
în Republica Moldova.
took this money in different tranches to the Republic of Moldova during several years.
Am avut cont în Franța.
So I had an account in
Contul de
France.
Franța care era și contul
So
de salarizare.
I used the same account as the account I used for receiving my payment from the university in Bordeaux, the Montesquieu University.
In the documents that you've provided to the Commission in response to its prior questions, is there any evidence of you receiving this payment and withdrawing it from the French bank?
Nu am trimis
I didn't send any document confirming this to the Commission, but this is an international case and the payments are done without any doubts. I don't think we can doubt the fact that I received that amount.
May I ask, related to the amount you received, you said in 2010, the 90,000 in lei gross or 73,000 lei net. Did you receive those fees through a bank payment?
Honorable Commission, this fee of approximately 73,000 lei was taken directly from the accountancy of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Moldova. This is the headquarters of the arbitration court.
And I take it from that there would be documentation reflecting that payment to you.
Honorable Commission, I have sent the documents confirming this.
Okay. And similarly, given that you've described this as a net amount, I understand that some taxes were withheld from the $90,000 or 90,000 lei, correct?
Da, bineînțeles că a fost.
Yes, of course.
All right.
I think that they taxed it more than they should have, probably.
All right, let me turn to, at least for me, the last topic on my list of questions. Mr. Buruiană, we've talked with you in the prior hearing, and there's been discussion in the questions we've asked you in written form about a payment to your wife of 32,000 lei related to a settlement with the government of Hungary. And what you've presented to us reflects that a 32,000 euro deposit was made in an account that one of your daughters holds in Romania. So, and that deposit was made in 2018. You've told the Commission that those monies ultimately were brought to you in Moldova in cash, in small amounts. And my question is this: we have the bank account statements, and those statements reflect that your daughter made cash withdrawals between 2018 and 2021 that totaled about 8,100 euro. Given that only that amount was withdrawn in cash, how could any more than that amount have found its way to you in cash here in Moldova?
Honorable Commission, the amount of 32,000 euros that was received after the enforcement of the court decision of the court in Budapest, Hungary, was brought to the Republic of Moldova in different payments of up to 10,000 euros, and it was not necessary to give a statement at the customs if the amount was lower. I would like to mention that this amount was received between 2018 and 2022, and not between 2018 and 2021. If you look at the bank statement, you will see that in 2022 there were withdrawals of 4,000 euros or even bigger amounts. Moreover, that my daughter, Buruiană Irina,
bancar
made a
pe
bank
contul
transfer
bancar a Danielei Buruiană, care
to
de asemenea
Daniela
este fiica
Buruiana's bank
mea,
account.
în
She's
sumă
also
de
my daughter.
6.740
And the
de
amount
euro,
was 6,740
pentru a
euros.
fi transmise părinților,
This was
deoarece Daniela venea mai
about
des
to be
acasă
brought to
Irina.
the parents because Daniela used to come
Suma
home
respectivă este
more often than
transmisă.
Irina. So this
Adică
amount
până
was also
în
given to us
perioada la care vă referiți până în 2021.
in the period you mentioned up to 2021.
So I understand you're referring, there were some 6,750 euros transferred by your older daughter to her younger sister in small amounts designated for the purpose of her expenses. And are you telling us that those small deposits were accumulated in cash and brought to you here in Moldova?
Exact.
Yes, Honorable Commission.
All right, but I think you've acknowledged, and the bank statements certainly reflect, that as of the end of 2021, before 2022, the only amounts that had been withdrawn in cash by your older daughter was something over 8,000 Moldova lei, and some 6,750 euros were transferred by your older daughter to your younger daughter. And I understand you're saying that the latter amounts, the amounts transferred to your younger daughter in a series of small transfers, that your statement is those two were taken in cash and ultimately brought to you here in Moldova before the end of 2021.
Onorați Comisie, am zis că suma de 32.000
Honorable Commission, I said that the amount of 32,000 euros was given to me in the period 2018-2022 inclusively, so until the end of 2022.
Nu în perioada
Not
2018
between 2018-2021.
În anul 2020
In
a
2022,
fost ridicată o sumă semnificativă.
A significant amount
A retras
was
contul
withdrawn
bancar
from
de
the
către
bank
Irina
account
Buruiană.
by Irina Buruiană.
I understand the amounts that were drawn in 2022. I think I just want to be sure that, and I think this is not disputable given the bank statements, the amounts that were withdrawn before 2022 of the 32,000 euros deposited would be no more than the 8,100 euro that your older daughter did take out in cash withdrawals. And you've said that the amounts that she transferred of some 6,750 euros to your younger daughter, those were taken out. And that's before 2022. So my point is, and you can see this on the statement, that at the end of 2021, there was still 19,000 euros in the account. And that partly reflects that your older daughter did deposit a couple thousand of euros into it over that period. And I understand what you're saying. You're saying that the 32,000 ultimately made its way to you in cash because after 2021, amounts were brought to you or transferred to you in 2022. And all I'm trying to be clear about is the time when that could have possibly happened.
Onorat Comisie,
Honorable Commission, yes, at the end of 2021, I didn't make any calculations, but you are saying there were approximately 19,000 euros in the account. It could have been 30,000, it could have been 40,000, I don't know. Because in the public hearing from the 16th of January and in the rounds of questions and answers, I have mentioned that this account was opened by Buruiană Irina to receive certain amounts of money to that account. First of all, it was her salary.
contul respectiv nu a fost
So this
deschis
account
în
was
mod
not
special
open
pentru a fi
exclusively or
virată
specifically
suma de 32.000
for this
de euro de către
32,000
Ministerul
euros
de
to be
Externe
transferred by the Ministry of Exterior from the Republic of Hungary.
Adică alte surse.
And of course, other sources of money could have been present. And this was her account.
Alte surse de venit.
She could have had other sources of income.
All right. Do any of the other commission members have any questions that they would wish to ask? And I understand, Mr. Buruiană, from your last statement that the bank account that we've been referring to, the bank statements for your daughter's account in Romania, you're saying that there might be some amounts in there that would reflect salary payments to her?
Honorable Commissioner, could you please repeat the question or clarify it? I didn't understand the question.
I think you, in your explaining money in your daughter's account, you said that, I understood you to say that it could possibly include salary payments that she received.
Honorable Commission, I'd like to mention that this is not my account. This is the account of Buruiană Irina. And I said that this account was not open specifically for this amount of 32,000 euros to be transferred by the Ministry of Exterior from Hungary. First of all, this account was opened for my daughter to receive her salary and for other bank operations. And therefore, the salary could have been sent to that account. Other sources could have been sent to that account.
Well, and I guess the account will identify when deposits were made and their source. So I understand what you said. You said that it's not your account. Yeah. Okay. So good. Other question?
Domnul Buruiană,
Mr. Buruiană,
este un cont în euro.
This is an account in euro. Is it correct?
Este un cont bancar în valută.
This is a bank account that is in foreign currency, in euro. Honorable Commission.
Este un cont în euro. Întrebarea este și următoarea întrebare.
And the next question, because they are linked. I didn't open this account, but it's probable. I didn't pay attention. Did your daughter receive her salary in euros at that point? Honorable Commission, I believe that the account is not in euro, first of all. Second of all, I explained at the hearings from the 16th of January that so on the 6th of June, not on the 30th of June, 2018, this amount of 32,000 euros was transferred by the Ministry of External Affairs from the Republic of Hungary. The question was different. Let me answer the question, please. Until this date, the date when the amount was sent to the account, approximately more than 2,000 euros were present on the bank account. So this bank account was opened previously. It was not opened especially for this amount of 32,000 euros to be sent. We are not contesting this. The question was whether your daughter was receiving her salary in euros. My daughter is working for a multinational and she receives her salary both in euros, in lei, Romanian lei, and so on. She has different
Acest cont
activities.
sunt întregi salariale.
And on this account, we can see salary payments. I think there might be salary payments or other payments. I don't know, because this is not my account. But you gave us this bank statement. Yes, I sent it to show that this amount of 32,000 euros was sent to this account that belonged to my daughter. And the money was withdrawn between 2018 and 2022, and this money was given back to me. This money could have been given back from her salary. I don't care. The idea is that by the end of 2022, she gave me the 32,000 euros that she had to pay me.
Sorry. Ms. Buruiană, I think that completes the questions that the Commission has. Do you have anything you'd like to say by way of a closing statement?
Honorable Commission, the statement that I gave in the hearing of the 16th of January this year is still valid.
Okay. Well, we've come to the end then of today's hearing. Thank you again for your submissions and answers to the Commission's questions. After the hearing, the Commission will approve an evaluation report, or will actually approve a decision for Law 26 purposes, stating its conclusion whether the subject meets the criteria for ethical and financial integrity under Law number 26. The Commission will strive to complete its evaluation report and announce its conclusion as soon as possible. It generally seeks to do so within a month after a subject's public hearing. Today's hearing is now closed. Good day to everyone.
Vă mulțumesc.